Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 10. This one's going to be for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 3, Ghost. Okay guys, so I want to do my video review for Season 10, Episode 3, Ghost. So, oh my god, this episode was amazing. So, I just want to kind of mention for the beginning of this review, this is by far the best episode of the season. I think this is an amazing episode, and honestly, I'm so excited for Episode 4 after this one. So, video predictions for Episode 4 will be up after this as well. Probably at the time of, you guys seeing this, the Episode 4 predictions will probably, be up. But, anyway, this episode was absolutely amazing. I really can't wait to start getting into this episode. Really just talking about the amazing moments that happened in this episode. So, if you're new here, of course, click the subscribe button. We do weekly Walking Dead reviews and daily Walking Dead videos, pretty close to daily at least. Yeah, if you want to be part of anything like that, Q&A videos, click the subscribe button and join the Walking Dead family. So, starting off with Episode 3. So, I'm going to break this review off in sections. We're going to go from the beginning of the episode, the border meeting. We're going to go to Negan and Aaron, and then we're going to cover Carol's hallucination scenes. So, let's get started with the beginning of the episode. Okay, so the episode opens up, and we get to basically see our characters, exhausted. Hours are passing by, walkers are coming to Alexandria, and it's stressful for them, And about 48 hours roughly go by, and we get to see that, a lot of people want revenge, for the Pikes. We get to see a lot of that, with the meeting and stuff. And basically, Gamma shows up and tells them to go to the border and wait. And Daryl's like, wait for what? And she's like, her. So they basically, a lot of the highwaymen, they don't want to go, things like this, because, a lot of people are angry about the Pikes still, and a lot of them are exhausted. They don't want to go. And Michonne says, look, Alpha's going to send that herd, and if she does, that's it. Right now, all she wants to do is talk, so we're going. So they go to the border very quickly in the episode, and drop their weapons, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. So, Alpha comes in with her whispers, and she's like, what did I tell you about crossing my border? There's one rule between our people. One law, We are always watching, And she just kind of, really tries to creep them out in this scene, I feel like, and really tries to scare them, And she says, you have to be punished. And it's kind of like, oh crap, they're going to kill someone, And then she's like, but there will not be any bloodshed this time. It's like, ugh. Man, you made me get excited for nothing, And, yeah, so, to my surprise, because in the predictions this week, I was like, okay, we're going to see probably some deaths on both sides. No, we didn't see anything, any deaths. Now, I was going to say in my predictions, I kind of feel bad for saying this, because it's like, I said in my predictions, I was like, man, if there's no deaths in this episode, I'm going to absolutely hate it, because it's just not realistic there'd be no deaths at the border. But actually, I actually found myself liking this direction better. She's like, you know what? Screw you guys. No, you guys crossed my land. And Michonne's like, we only crossed it once. She's like, really? So, no, you actually crossed 3 times. In the winter storm, you with the man with the metal hand, and then, at the Walker herd location with Carol and stuff. You crossed 3 times. She's kind of like, didn't you, And then Carol's like, we don't have to listen to this. And then she's like, what? And then she's like, to this bullshit. She's just like, Alpha's just like, but, and they kind of have a little bit of a standoff scene. And then Carol, of course, loads up the gun earlier on in the episode, tries to kill Alpha, and fails, of course, because it's just not the right time in the story for that to happen. But I like that she tried to kill Alpha, and Michonne's like, I apologize for my friend, and stuff like that. So, Alpha, instead of killing them, and instead of having bloodshed, she says, you know what, I'm going to cut off your hunting grounds, and we are going to, you better run, because we are going to take, we're going to mark the new border. You guys are going to have less property. You guys are going to have less land. We'll have more. And that's Alpha's way of teaching them a lesson. Why didn't Daryl and the others say, we found your skins on our side of the border? That's the only thing for me. I'm like, you could have honestly, because Alpha's very she's very reasonable when it comes to that. She will admit to the stuff that she does, I feel like. And, I don't know, they should have mentioned it, that's all I'm saying. But I love the part, and before we move on to anything else, the part where Carol is like, I do not fear you. I look at you and I feel nothing. I don't fear you at all. You're not scary to me. I don't care. I don't get scared by you. And that's the end of the story. And Alpha pretty much just lets it go. For now. But, we gotta see a fight between Alpha and Carol this season. We gotta see it. We know full well they're probably gonna kill Alpha at some point in time this season in this war. Because our characters are gonna start the war with the Whispers pretty soon. And, for me, this episode really did start the Whisper War. Because, they're not gonna be able to follow this new rule. They're not. And that's really what it's gonna come down to. So, Carol says that she saw Whispers. And that's the first thing. And then that kind of leads into the hallucinations. But let's talk about Aaron and Negan. So Aaron and Negan in this episode, basically, we get to see them. Now, Aaron's low on fighters. Negan's a good fighter, obviously we know, from All Out War. And, he's like, peanut butter and meat jelly. So, he's like, that's awesome, good on you, putting the old stump to use. So a lot of the scenes in the trailer, we get to see the border scene, that scene, the peanut butter, meat jelly, and stuff like that. So, back at Alexandria, of course, they take off. We get to see everybody else kind of clearing the walkers, Rosita and Eugene. Rosita is so tired, she says she feels drunk. So, yeah, and we get a pretty interesting scene between Rosita and Eugene in this one I do want to talk about, where Eugene just, he wants to be with Rosita, he wants to be with Rosita. He's not letting that idea go, and hey, frankly, I can't blame him, I'm just saying, I can't blame him for trying so hard. Because honestly, Rosita's not a bad-looking woman, I'm just saying. But, honestly, Eugene really just gets the full truth from Rosita. You and me, it's never gonna happen, and, she's like, Eugene, when are you gonna realize that, you're not Coco's father, and she's like, I'm sorry, that was mean, and stuff like that. So, I like Rosita this season. I hope they don't kill her off, because I feel like they could do that this season, but yeah, I do like the scene between her and Eugene. I thought that was kind of cool. So, Aaron and Negan go out, and to my surprise, we actually saw way more intense scenes between them than I thought. They actually mentioned Eric and how the death was his fault, and, Aaron tries to get to Negan with his wife mentioned, with Lucille, and, of course, Lucille, we'll have to see when she returns this season. We know Michonne has her, so she's coming back soon, but what is Negan going to think about that is my question. But, he's being all nice now, but once he sees Lucille, he might be like, hey, get your hands off of her, so, I don't know. But I really, really like the scene between them, because Aaron thought, like, he lost Negan, with the walkers and stuff, and, and I love the part, too, where Aaron's just like, those three are your walkers, Negan, take them out, and he's like, you got it, boss, stuff like that. So, I don't know, I like that. But, he actually saves Aaron in this episode, which is crazy, and he even takes watch and lets Aaron sleep for a few hours. This is what I'm talking about. For all you people that hate Negan, watch this episode, and you will understand why I like Negan so much. Yeah, they're doing the redemption storyline for him this season. Now, I still think they're going to have Negan do some pretty crazy things like he did in the comic coming up pretty soon with, a certain character that I won't mention. But, still, I even if this season, because a lot of people are thinking that they'll have Negan escape this season, I still think Negan's going to be a good guy, And I like that idea. I like that approach. So, in terms of the stuff with him and Aaron, man, they went into some crazy stuff. Eric mentioning, Lucille mentions and stuff like that. But Negan actually, and Aaron does not try to kill Negan or the other way around, So, I like that. I love the stuff between Negan and Aaron. I thought that was just amazing. So, love that stuff. Absolutely love it. And then finally we get to see these scenes between Carol and, Henry, the hallucinations and stuff like that. I don't like this stuff as much as the rest of the episode because I find it very annoying. Daryl talking about his dad being a truck driver and stuff, and then later on he's like, I didn't say that. I'm like, oh my god. It's like, get off the pills, bruh. And, I don't know. I don't really think that they did these hallucination scenes as well as I thought they were going to do. This episode, in my opinion, is probably the best episode of the season, but I don't like the hallucination scenes that much, and that's all I'm going to say. I do like certain ones. Like my favorite part of all of this is when she looks at the picture and she sees Lizzie, Sophia, Henry, all the kids that she lost on that picture. Love that. But seeing Henry, he's barely there. I mean, he said mom. That was literally his only line. And, I mean, that's not too difficult to do. So, Henry really didn't return that much. I mean, I thought he was going to have a full scene of him, like, talking with Carol. But we didn't get that. And I don't know, maybe I just got my expectations too high for this. But I wanted more of that. I'm sorry. But I thought that the hallucination scenes were a bit underwhelming. Now, I do like the one as well where it's kind of like the real world. Like, you got Carol that kind of comes downstairs. Daryl's cooking breakfast and stuff like that, or doing whatever in the kitchen. And, you know, she takes some money or whatever, and she's, like, going to the store or something like that. And then it's kind of like reality kicks in. And you got, you know, Henry at the table. So, can I please mention something real quick? They're so foreshadowing the relationship between Carol and Daryl. I know people are going to be like, Dan, shut up. It's been like 10 seasons. And I know. But she was, you know, imagining or hallucinating, whatever she was, dreaming or something, I don't know, that Daryl was with her probably, and that's why, you know, he's in the kitchen and stuff like that, you know. He got up early, you know, to make her some breakfast and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I feel like they were addressing the relationship between Carol and Daryl with that hallucination scene. So, I'm just going to kind of put it out there. I'm just going to kind of point that out. That's all I'm going to say at this point. So, anyway, hallucination scenes, not my favorite, but I did like them for what they were at times. Now, I do want to talk about, for the end of the review, what was that ending about? Because I'm not really sure what that was, if I'm being honest. This is my only confusion with this episode. What was the ending of this episode? Because you see a whisper open, you know, her, you know, his or her, I don't know. I think it's a her. But what's, you know, the whisper that tied up Carol, is that who that is? But, you know, I don't know. I just didn't really understand that ending. But maybe you're going to be like, Dan, like, honestly, you got to watch more carefully. But I did not understand that ending of the episode at all. So, if you guys understood it, could you please explain it to me? Because I really, for once, I have no idea what the ending of that episode was. So, in terms of this episode, though, so in you know, the end, I'm going to put this episode at a 9.3. I think this episode was absolutely amazing. It would have, honestly, I would have put this episode at a 10. But there were the scenes with Carol that I feel like were just a little underwhelming for me. And scenes that you can't tell what's real, what's fake, that really just frustrated me. But in terms of this episode and kind of my thoughts on it, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was an amazing episode, really well done, and it really, I'm so excited for episode 4. So, border scene, A+. Aaron and Negan scene, A+++, honestly. But, the scenes with Carol, probably like a B-, because I just didn't enjoy the hallucination scenes. You know, we barely saw Henry, not knowing what's real, what's not. I just wasn't digging it. I just wasn't feeling it, and I'm going to be fully honest when I say that. So, anyway, write your comments in the comment section below. In my opinion, best episode of the season. Yes, beats the premiere, and, well, pretty easily beats episode 2. So, look out for episode 4 predictions, guys. That will be coming up very soon. That is my review for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 3, Ghost. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys really soon for another video. Peace out.